Alright, I'm going to do, excuse me, an update here on Koko, who's out this morning. First time I've really seen him kind of moving and cruising around the room, and one of the things I'm noticing is that there's an old injury in the right rear leg, which we didn't notice at exam. So he's got a limp on that right rear leg, and we will take him into the vet again, get an x-ray of that hip and that leg. Now this is not uncommon. We see this a lot in strays, and typically what it means is that they were bumped by a car at some point, either, you know, and something got askew, bruised, injured, and nothing you can do about it. It just is the way they are. It may mean that he's a bit more of a ground measer. Now I'm just moving over here. I'm sorry for the video quality. I want to get a feather toy. It may mean he's a bit more of a ground measer, meaning he's not a huge jumper or climber. I don't have that information yet. Sometimes cats like this just are a little bit sore in the back end, so they don't do an enormous amount of leaping, but I don't see anything to indicate that he can't. I mean, look, he's moving around pretty well. Now what I do want you to notice is that he's still a little scared and nervous. Now, granted, this is his first time out in the group living environment, and it's a big room. He's the only cat out right now with me, but notice that he's a little nervous of me. Not totally. I mean, here he is. He's kind of under the chair. He's watching, and I've got the feather wand, and he's got some interest. But I don't want you to think that this is a cat that's going to walk in and be completely normal right away. He's a little spooked. He's a little unsure of people and of, you know, how you're going to behave towards him. And so this, you know, I hope I said that in the first video and in my write-up. This is a cat that is going to be a small project. He's going to react and improve based on the level and amount of interaction time you spend with him. But I suspect that you're going to spend a lot of time initially sitting on the floor, you know, looking to find where he is, you know, encouraging him to interact with you. Now he likes food, so you can use treats. I would not use a big room like I'm using here. This really doesn't work when you're trying to get a cat to interact with you, because they disappear from you. They run away, as he is doing. So he goes back to the safety of his cage. And this tells us, and we know, that cats really like small spaces. So you really do want to start this guy in a small space. I'm going to lower the level of my voice a little bit, because I think I'm even spooking him with my voice. Hey, buddy. It's okay. Hey. Hi. It's all right. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. So you can see I got elevator butt here. This guy wants to be okay. He wants to trust humans. He's been given some reasons not to trust. Another possibility is somebody kicked him hard in that back hip. More likely got bumped by a car. But it's not unheard of for these cats to have been kicked and stuff. So look, he's very, very loving, and he wants to be very, very loving, but he's frightened of people a little bit. So initially there's going to be a little bit of a project. I don't think it's long. Depends how much time you put into it. I would definitely not give this guy the run of the house or a big room. I would start him in a small room where you can easily access him. So, because otherwise what happens is he's going to go way underneath a bed or a bureau or a dresser, and you're not going to be able to get to him, and you're going to be laying on your stomach reaching for him, and he's not going to come out. You saw I tried with a feather wand. He wasn't too interested. That's also not surprising. A lot of these cats haven't had feather wand experience. Doesn't mean they don't like to play. It just means, like, what is that? You know, nobody's ever rubbed a feather wand at me before, so they just don't even know how to react. So you do have a very, very loving cat here. But you have a cat who's nervous about people, and so in this small space, look at what great success I am having him roll all over, you know, want attention, want love and kisses. But in a large space, you saw, you know, he was kind of avoiding me. He was not coming to me. He was running sort of away from me. So really tells you that how you have to start out with this cat. You put them in a small area where you can easily access them. You work with them continually, frequently, repetitively, until they really are starting to trust you. That is sometimes 24 hours and sometimes it's 24 days. I mean, it really is hard to predict. A lot depends on how much time you invest. And then you start increasing their space when they are acting super comfortable, but not before, because space is overwhelming to these cats, and then they don't know, you know, what to do. They hide and they get spooked, and then, you know, it sort of goes downhill from there. So that's the deal. Nice cat. We'll get some detail with an x-ray sometime this week, and on his rear end, but I don't think it's anything that's going to cause anything other than perhaps some arthritis existing now or in the future. But other than that, hey, there you are. Good boy. Look at you coming out looking for some pets. Look at you. So again, this just tells me it's not a big project with this guy. It really isn't a big project, because he really wants to be your buddy. He really wants to be near you and with you. He's very people-oriented. He's just been given reasons to be afraid of people, and you've got to overcome that. You've got to remember that he's got to get to know you a little bit, and it's going to just take a little bit of time, but certainly a love boy.